Now let's turn to strategy as far as investing is concerned, and where you should be looking for your opportunities. Of course, we're at that very interesting point, given what we've just been through. Our next guest has a particular interest in established, stable companies with solid long-term growth opportunities. To take us through it is Rob Shears, Principal Advisor and Director at Valor Private Wealth. Great to see you, Rob.
Thanks very much, Andrew.
All right, dare I say it, are you taking the boring option here?
I prefer boring.
Boring is safe.
Boring is safe, yes.
Is that what we need right now, you think?
The markets are at fairly elevated levels, so
Yeah.
I think it is. I don't think this is the time to be taking excess risk.
Despite the projections of where we're likely to go next year?
No one knows where we're going to go next year. It's nice to make predictions at the end of the year for next year. No one knows.
Yeah.
So but I do think that if you look at most metrics, we're at the upper end of the ranges for pretty much any market that we look at. So it's as Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. I think that there's more greed in this market than fear.
Am I going to ask you? Berkshire Hathaway's been in the press recently, but not because of it, but because of another car company or a tech company, depending who you ask. Tesla market cap has gone and exceeded Berkshire Hathaway. What's that telling you about what 2020 is about?
Tells you that anything can happen in markets. I don't know what's going to happen there, but it's not the sort of investments we prefer to make. It's interesting to see what happens over the coming years.
So let's talk Berkshire Hathaway. Big value play. Investors around the world love it. You like it as well.
We consider it our core holding because it's so diversified. It's got, last count, $138.9 billion in cash. So it's one of the safest companies in the world on its balance sheet and also its diversification of wonderful businesses. And if you look at Apple's almost a quarter of its market cap right now.
All right, well, let's talk tech. A couple of ones you want to look at. Alphabet. Why are you liking that so much? And I guess also bearing in mind of the possibility of regulation. What are your thoughts on Alphabet with a Biden White House, that they might go hard?
Look, I do think that over the next decade there's certainly going to be regulatory pressures. If you add up all the subsidiary businesses of Alphabet, I think they're worth more than what the market cap is today. So at the moment, I think that Waymo, which is Alphabet's driverless car business, is trading at a negative value. I don't think it's a negative business. So if you add up all those businesses, including YouTube, obviously Google, but Google Maps recently got monetized, and there's one estimate of that at $200 billion just for Google Maps. So if you add up all those businesses, I think it's certainly worth more than the market cap.
Divestment of those various industries, sectors of the companies there, is that necessarily a bad thing if you actually can go and unlock value by breaking the companies up?
They do gain an advantage from the data they gather from, Alphabet's original goal was to effectively download the world and be the world's information source. And they're well on their way to it. There are advantages from having the combined entity.
Yep, okay. Another one you're looking at is Facebook.
Yes.
How do you think that has been travelling, and then what's your projection?
It's a slightly more controversial stock. I think that Instagram as a business has one of the widest moats of any business in the world. If you think about a traditional advertising magazine or anything in the past, if you wanted to advertise in that magazine, it would go out to a limited audience. Whereas if an influencer takes a photo on Instagram, does a selfie, that goes out to millions of people, and the brand attraction that can have by associating your brand with that is almost beyond anything you can ever create in another environment.
We discussed Berkshire Hathaway, Alphabet, Facebook, three big names. Anything else that you've screened at the moment that you like the look of that maybe not the market wouldn't know about as readily?
Look, we have a very concentrated portfolio in our largest stocks. And we believe that safety first, obviously you want to do the obvious things first in a bigger way than the smaller things. But it doesn't mean we don't do the smaller things. We own a company called Albemarle, which is one of the lowest cost lithium miners in the world. And as much as I don't know whether Tesla is going to be the winner in 10 years' time, in I think it was 1906, there were 503 car companies, and I think only one of them didn't go bankrupt. So it's a difficult industry, but I think that the electronic vehicles are coming regardless of what happens, and within 10 years there'll be the S-curve adoption.
Yeah.
And we like to be exposed to that with Albemarle.
Okay, so not directly as far as Tesla's concerned then?
No.
Right. Or any other company? Because I mean, you were also mentioning what's going on in China as far as EVs are concerned.
Yes.
Is there a point where you think you know when to get into these companies, or is it?
We like to rank our businesses on certainty, and there's certain things which can create certainty. A brand can create certainty, so you can know that Coca-Cola is going to be selling cans of Coke in 10 years' time. You can know a low-cost miner is probably going to be around in 10 years' time, so Albemarle will probably be one of the lowest-cost lithium miners, and if lithium goes down, everyone else goes broke, and Albemarle survives. But car companies are very difficult businesses, and knowing which one's going to win that race over 10 years it's race 7, horse 7 style
Right.
investing. I don't think anyone really knows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who make a lot of money in the short term, but
Well, and that's certainly been the
there's
case.
as
isn't it,
much luck
recently?
as there is skill, I think.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
We prefer to take luck out of it.
Rob, great to get your views. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.